Okay. So there are many ways. What we will do is first, let's go and see how you can install the operator. And
Parul, we saw only the login screen. There are any other thing to...
okay, so yeah. Okay, now you can see. So what you do is let's start with beginning. I would set the premise by saying, let's say I am the conventional software engineers, and my day job includes creating or spinning of clusters. How about you, Luciano? Like, how often do you create a cluster, or how often do you work on a Kubernetes cluster?
Never, basically.
So this is the kind of combinations we are talking. We have a conventional software engineer and we have a Qiskit developer who day job is making Qiskit circuits. So with a simple Google search, deploy OpenShift on AWS, and I'm going to use AWS, you will land into this documentation, which is our OpenShift documentation. The best thing to do is, let's see over here. Yeah. Go to the version 4.6, which is the most stable, and you can download the installation program from our infrastructure provider, which is this link. And all you have to do is download the installer, which I have already downloaded. So let's go back to apologies. There would be some changing of the screen, but since it's a code demo, I guess we have to bear with that. Okay, so this is where I have installed the program. The program is the OpenShift install, and
do you mind making your font bigger?
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. Is that better?
But now, yeah.
Okay, so this is the installer that will help you create the cluster, and what you need to do is create a directory, and what this directory will do is save all your authentication details. And so it will, we use Terraform, so it will save the Terraform configurations, but the main thing over here is in the auth folder, what it does is it will have the kubeconfig file, and using a kubeconfig file, if you're very familiar with the command line, you can just put this into your pointer to your a directory where you're going to save this, and then you can just start accessing the cluster. But if you're someone who likes to use the UI, you can, this file, kubeadmin password, will have your username and password ID. So this is what happens. So I already have created a cluster because it takes quite some time to launch one, but let's see how the steps. We will cancel at the last moment because it takes a long time to spin the cluster, but we will go till the end of step. So for the second cluster that I'm going to create, let's create a directory that will save my auth details. So I will call it demo thing 21. And all I need to do is run a command, which is OpenShift install create cluster, and the directory, you have to give the directory name, which is now think 21. And I am saying, give me the log level up to the information. So next it will ask you which public SSH key you want to use. This is the key that I usually use. So I click on that enter, and it is asking what is your platform, AWS, Azure. So let's say that I am clicking on AWS and I choose this remote. And now you have to give your base domain. So either you can create one or you can use the existing. I am going to use the existing one, and let's give a name to this cluster, and which is say so now it will ask you to give the pull secret, and on the same page as the installer, you will have the pull secret over here, you can see. So all you need to do is like copy pull secret. And once you do that, go back to your terminal and just paste it. That's it. That's all it takes. And it will start creating a cluster. Meanwhile, we are going to use a cluster that we have already created. So yeah, this is the cluster I've already created. So Luciano, why don't you go ahead and access this cluster, and let's see how tough or how easy it is to install the operator.
Okay, let me try. I will share my screen now. And let's see. Okay, so I'm here in the website that you sent to me.
Yeah.
And these credentials that you gave me.
Right.
I will log in. There's a loading page. Well, you can see what I'm going. I don't have to tell you what's going on. Okay, so far so good. We're in.
Yeah, so far so good. So on your left-hand side, right-hand side top, you see cube admin. So that is your username that you use. So right now I've given you the admin privilege. Now let's go and install the operator. On the left-hand side, do you see the tab which is operators?
Yep.
And let's click on Operator Hub.
Perfect.
And you can search our operator by the keyword Qiskit. So yeah, the second operator, OpenShift Qiskit operator. Click on
this
that.
One, the one on the right, I see. So this is some sort of like a market of operators.
Exactly. So if you think of this as your app store where all your apps for iPhone or Androids are, similarly, this is an app store for all the operators for OpenShift or Kubernetes. So you can see a brief introduction about what this operator does in the introduction. The documentation is also on this guide. And we would love any issues to be raised. So all the informations are over here. The repository details are also given on the right-hand side. So all the information about the operator is available over here. All you need to do is click on the install button.
Perfect.
So it says that we are going to install the operator on this cluster, and it's asking you, do you want to install in a particular namespace, or you want to have this on the entire cluster? I prefer on a particular namespace, so it's easy to access all the resources. So we don't have a namespace yet. Why don't you go and create one?
We need to create one. Oh, create namespace. I guess here.
Yeah.
And here a namespace. Any.
I would say let's call it Think21.
Perfect. And now create.
Yeah, create.
And that creates the namespace. Okay.
That's create the namespace. And now when you click on install, it will install this operator in that namespace.
Okay. Seems like it's loading. It's taking some time.
Yeah. So it's already done. Let's go on view install operator in namespace 21. Click on that. Okay, that's also good. Okay, so earlier I was talking about this concept of custom resource. I would like to go over again because maybe people are not familiar with Kubernetes ecosystem. So the Qiskit playground over here is the custom resource that this operator is going to manage. And the operator is going to ensure that everything that this custom resource, which is Qiskit playground, needs has to be there. And there's a concept of reconciliation. So where in a particular cadence, the operator reconcile all the resources required for the CR, which is the custom resource, and here Qiskit playground. And if any of the resources required by the CR is missing, the operator would complain or it will throw an error. So you can think of an operator as a human who is monitoring this this playground and will raise any alarm if anything wrong is going with this playground. So why don't we go and create an instance of the CR?
Sure thing.
Yep. And there's a name over there. Let's create. It's going to complain right now, but go and hit on create. So that's you see. So it doesn't allow a resource to have caps letter, and it follows a regex. So just change the capital P to small p and click create.
Great.
So now it is going to, it's creating the CR Qiskit playground in a project called Think21. And let's go to the project, Luciano. Can you click on the workload that is
here on the left?
Yeah, go to pods, the first, yeah. And over here, you can see that the first row is the operator itself, which is running. And the second row is the CR, which is the Qiskit breakdown. And it is in the status, which is container creating. So go ahead and click that link, Qiskit breakdown.
Qiskit breakdown. This link?
No, the
first one. Oh, the pod, not the Qiskit breakdown itself.
Yeah, no, the owner. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can find the details about the pod over here, but let's see what event has taken place. So hit on the events tab.
Events.
Yeah. So basically events will tell you all the phases that this pod has gone through. And you can see that
something is broken. Yeah.
Yes, but the first event that you think is it assigned a node to it. That's the first event. And the second event, when it was trying to set up a volume, which is called Qiskit secret, it found some issue. Now, why do you think, Luciano, this is happening? Just intuitively.
Well, I guess this human-like process that you mentioned, that is checking that everything is fine, is not finding something that is supposed to be there. And that something is called a Qiskit secret.
Exactly. So we don't know what is a Qiskit secret, but it expects something which is a Qiskit secret. And Qiskit secret is basically the token, the IBM quantum token that you use to run it on the actual quantum computer. So if we are definitely going to show you what is a Qiskit secret. Later on, Luciano will...
Oh, later on, not now. Okay, sorry. I moved forward too quickly. Sorry.
So we are going to create we are going to solve this issue, and we are going to create a volume called Qiskit secret. Next, we are going to talk why we need the secret and how to access the secret. So in the same tab, which is the workload, do you see the secrets? It is second last.
In the same tab,
on the left.
Here. Yeah.
So
okay,
we have the project.
Secrets already there.
Yeah, these are the default secrets that are required by the cluster, like builder, deployer. All these secrets are needed to build and deploy the application. So let's go and create a secret.
What kind of secret? Key value secret?
Yeah, a key value secret.
Okay.
And we have to name it as Qiskit-secret because that's what it's expecting.
I see. And here is the secret itself. So I need to find that one around, or should I put in the key?
The key is called, I have pasted in the chat, but the key it expects is Qiskit-secret.cfg. By the way, people, this is not something that we have covered all these steps in a GitHub README page. So it's not like you need to memorize this. It's already there. Just because I don't want to switch the tab, I am dictating it to you. So now you
have read the document before, I guess.
No, it's okay. So now what we need to do is upload the secret value. So why don't you go and explain people what is the secret and why we need the secret?
Awesome. So in the IBM Quantum website, let me start from the beginning so you can see how it looks like from the outside. In quantum-computing.ibm.com, you can access all the Qiskit or all the IBM Quantum backends that we have available for usage. Some of them are real quantum computers, and some of them are simulators, and some of the simulators are running on high-performance computing. So for that, you need an IBM ID that is something that everybody can get I think my case is something like this. My demo one. And
I remember.
Yeah, go ahead.
There is also access for free tier, right? Like some people can make IBM run their circuits on this without paying anything. So there's also provision of free tier access, although where my knowledge takes me, there's a limitation of number of calls you can, or number of circuits you can run in a day, but still that is a provision. So
yeah, that's correct. That there is there is some sort of like a limit in the amount of we call it them credits. So you can spend those credits. You have some credits for free, but you're going to create a user instead of use the one that I already have, because actually I don't remember the password that I have for that one. So that's a good reason for not having one. So you have to verify your email, and then I had to check it out in my Gmail, where is this code that I receive.
I can't see your screen.
Yeah, I think Luke prevent that everybody reads my emails, but stop sharing the screen. So that was cool. Thank you. I got my key. I got my key back from my emails. If you want to put me back in, thank you. That was clever. Okay, and now I create an account. Proceed. So it's creating an IBM ID. With the IBM ID, you can access all the IBM services, not just the quantum components, but all the cloud services from IBM. We accept the terms and conditions that we already read, and we access our contact information here. So some questions like, how did you learn about quantum, or how familiar are you quantum? Actually, not very much familiar to quantum. I have read some articles, so I would put it here.
You need to put more characters in there.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ismael. And I can continue.
I think it's kind of interesting that we run into these issues, because most of the time people run into this issue, and things like the regular expression like we had for the namespace, it's not there in any documentation, and people worry. So I like this kind of setup where we are running into issues. Okay.
That's the real demo. So here you can access, you can see all the, for example, the quantum services that we have available for you. These are not all the hardware that IBM has, but it's the hardware that you can access with your free account. For example, computers like IBM Q Santiago. Usually the style of naming is IBM Q and then a name of a city. You can see the full offer here in all.
So what is that green icon and then it says online? Is it that the system is online?
Yeah. The quantum computers, they are very sensitive piece of equipment, and they require calibration practically daily, and sometimes even more than once a day. So they need to be put offline sometimes to calibrate it. Yeah. In some situations, for example, we save some of the hardware for particular demonstrations to clients or for presentations like Think21, and that's why you see some of them, they're like dedicated. That means that somebody already like book that computer for a period of time. These kind of services are available for you if you are part of the IBM Q hub. Your company can access to these exclusive window times where you can use a full computer for yourself. Let's go back to the home, and let's go back to the idea of getting our tokens. So it's possible to access the computer through something that we call the composer, which is some sort of like a drag and drop system where you can create your quantum circuit. Also, we have something called the Quantum Lab. That is basically a Jupyter Notebook where we can run Qiskit and all the related information, like for example the Qiskit textbook and the Qiskit tutorials. But in our case, we want to use Qiskit from OpenShift, and for that we need some sort of like accesses for that, and that access is given by this token. So
just to add, like if people are wondering why, if you can use the IBM Quantum Lab itself, why would you want to do it on OpenShift? So as I mentioned earlier, we are trying to show the best practices for integrating how do you combine both classical and quantum development. So when you're in OpenShift and a lot of your classical components are running on OpenShift, and So to provide an ease that your developer don't have to change the environments very often, like, oh, when I'm running Qiskit, I go here, and when I'm running normal Python, I go there. So just this to and fro changes between the platform is what we're trying to minimize. And that's why we are trying to provide the same functionality that you have on the lab on OpenShift by the operator.
I can make another comment, no? Because like Parul said, no, it's like when you are in your environment, you have all your data and your services around. This means like you can work and make the first proof of concepts with your data and all the tools that you have around. And when you want and when you are ready, you can send to the quantum computer to make the execution. But you have in your side all the control in your data or other services that you can need for some reason.
Okay, so we similar to what Parul did before with OpenShift, we do here with IBM Cloud. We copy the token and we paste it, I assume, in this box. Parul?
I think, yeah, I think you have to save it as a file. I don't want, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's better. People will not see it, all of it. So now we have created the Qiskit secret, and now we have to, let's go back to the pods under the workload.
The pods under the workload here, yes.
Yeah. So we have to kill this pod. So if you see the 3 dots on the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Click on that.
The main one, right? Not the playground.
No, the below one. That is the operator. Yeah, the CR. Yeah. So delete the pod.
Okay.
And do you see? Okay. So now you would be wondering, oh, I deleted the pod. Do I need to create the pod? What do you think is the, oh, it's already showed you. So
it seems like I don't have to because it already show up here.
Exactly. So that's what I said. The operator ensures that whatever CR is there, and this is the Qiskit playground, it's always in a stable state. It's running, and all the resources that it needs is ensured. So you don't have to, most of the alarming and all the kind of like notification is taken care by the operator.